Alright, what we did is we did the loft and lie, and now I cut them to length and used a normal cutting machine, removed all the burrs, got all the slag out from inside. You've seen that on other videos, and I wanted to show you how we measure this. When you do this, you have to have the putter in a playing position, and then as it sits there, then you put the measurement up in there behind it. Okay, and that's what we are looking for. So as a double check for me, I go back in here, get into the putting position, and it's the length that I need. I know you probably can't see that off of the camera, and I'm going to check both of them, and they're what I want. And the next thing that we need to do is put a grip on them. And this is Dad's putter, and we need to put a Super Stroke, blue Super Stroke number 2 on there instead of the grip that normally comes with. Alright, now just like we talked about in our gripping sessions before, we mark the length where it's at, and you'll get to see something a little bit different today. I don't know if you can see it per there, but from right about here to right about here, there's a bit of a taper before it gets into its parallel. So to ensure that it sits on there evenly, I have to put on just a little bit of tape, build-up tape, and I do it in small increments. Notice that's only about an inch. It's only going to take a couple, and you overlap it and you make them just slightly bigger than the next. And that should be good enough right there. And now what that does is that creates kind of a taper all the way. And we put on our grip tape. Of course, we've made our line. You saw me do that part. And we lay it down there nice and tight, making sure I have some overlap. Fold it over, fold it under, and then we have a little bit extra, and we twist that off. And now next thing we do is I'd like to put a level on it and make sure that this guy is in the right playing position. So that's squared up. So when the bubble's in the center, you know you've got a square face. That's at least one good way to start. A little bit of grip solvent, shake it up, make sure the inside's good. Get our grip tape nice and slick. Get it started in there, and then slide her on. Pretty tough. Alright, get that back to solid again. Make sure we get it. Let's see if we can get it level here. There we go. And then what you do is you eyeball it. Make sure that it's 90 degrees. You can use the sight line, so you have the sight line going like this, and you have the flat plane of the grip going like this. Make sure that they marry up, and if you're really good at it, you can do 90 degrees to make sure it's 90 degrees of that. Not too bad. What I like to do is seat it, and we'll set it. Alright, let's do Jace's club. And he gets a Super Stroke, but it's slightly smaller. It's a 1.0. So, we go and mark it again. And you'll notice we have to do the same thing with the taper on this guy. So again, slightly small piece of build-up tape. There we go. And then another slightly larger piece of build-up tape. And now we've got it set to the parallel. We get our grip tape again. I don't like putting the middle. I like having this thing off to the side just ever so slightly. That way, if you do kind of make a mistake with the folding, or it gets an air bubble, that it's not directly under the grip. And that's true for all of them. Fold it over. more grip solvent. And now, what if you may notice, you're going, Jim, how come you didn't put that level on there? Well, it's a good question. I got to get this grip on there first. There we go. See, it's not all roses and sunshine putting these things on. And while that's drying a little bit, there we go. And do another check. So it needs to turn a little bit. There we go. Now that's better. Now we get to do the calibrated eyeball check. That's better on the front. There we go. Seat it too. And we're ready to go. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to do next as far as the finishing part of it. Alright, last step, we got to make it look really good before we give it to the customer. What I like doing is using a bit of turtle wax. I put on all our clubs after all our repairs, after all our builds, and what I do is I clean up the shaft, and I'll clean up the top line, and I'll clean up the sole. I try to keep it off the face because I don't like any junk getting on the face. And we'll do both clubs the same way, just to kind of, that does is bring back a shine, and that also brings back a shine. It also forms just a little bit of a layer of protection, and it makes it really look good, so that better than buying off of the rack. Alright, so while I'm cleaning this, the Piretti putter people were established in 2008. That's pretty young for any golf company, let alone a putter company. And it's out of Texas, and all of the clubs are 100% milled from a single billet. That means that the neck, the face, everything is done in one, it's made out of one piece. So you get a really crisp, really good feel. Makes for an excellent milled putter. Mike Johnson's the owner of the Piretti Group, and they are based out of Texas. So literally a made in the USA putter, which is something that we really like here at McGolf. We like to support those made in the USA. And what he does different than all the rest is he prefers to have a slightly heavier putter. And if you can check right here, 365 grams. If we look at the other one, and it'll say it in there too. Good thing I looked, because there's some stuff to take off. And right here, 365 grams. Slightly heavier. It's between around 15 and 20 grams heavier than the average putter. He believes in a little bit heavier. So do I. It overruns some of the little muscles that go up the back of your hand, so you get a little bit of that twitching goes away. The other part is he also believes in lower loft. And the lower loft is, the greens are getting faster nowadays. They weren't back in the, 60s and 50s when you saw the likes of Arnold Palmer just busting one to get it to go rolling. They're getting, even the municipal greens are getting faster. So what we need is a little lower loft in order to start getting some of that true roll. So we get a little bit heavier, we get the right grip, we get the right loft, we get the right lie, the right length, the right weight, the right offset so that you're aiming it properly, and you'll truly have a consistent flat stick, because this is the only club that's really scheduled to be used twice on each hole. So this is actually probably the most important club in the bag, and you really need to pay attention and take care of the club. And last but not least, we get to apply 2 brand new Piretti putter covers. Nice leather putter covers. These things are solid, so they'll look pretty stylish in the bag. So we've got 2 significantly different putter types, significantly putter lengths and lies, and to make it a truly custom putter with some really stylish club covers, and hopefully these work as well as the irons did, as we talked about in the beginning of the video. And if you like what you saw in the bending of the putters, or how we put the putter grip on, like the video and keep it and subscribe. It helps out the channel, and you'll be able to see some more tips and some more how-tos at the McGolf channel. And thank you for watching, and let's make sure those scores go low.